I'm sure most of us have played our fair share of games with absurdly challenging difficulty levels, but what about a difficulty where any enemy can kill you in a single hit? Oh, wait, I got hit by what? Was it that guy? Wait a second. What the hell was that no-look Patrick Mahomes axe throw, dude? This is the reality of the Evil Within's AKUMU mode, a difficulty where you're given far less ammo, tough enemies from later levels appear earlier, more traps are strewn everywhere, and of course, you die from taking any source of damage.
I was born with glass bones and paper skin.
But in order to get the hardest achievement in the game, I need to beat it. So today, I decided to jump into this survival horror experience while hoping my sanity survived the horrors that awaited me.
Call went out just before I picked you up. Said it was multiple homicides.
Multiple homicides. It's
It's
multiple homicides and they're all gonna be me, chat. God damn, I'm not looking forward to this. As you can probably tell, I was pretty optimistic about the playthrough already. I can't say the same about my Twitch chat though, since a majority of them didn't think I could beat this chapter in under 10 deaths. So, after hanging out with my new friend over here, I set out to prove them horribly wrong. What the doubters in chat may not have realized is that this is actually the easiest chapter in the entire game, since you can grab the key to the door immediately without Chainsaw Man noticing, and all you have to do after that is hide and sneak to the end. To be honest, I don't understand why everyone had so little faith in me. I feel like it's pretty hard to die even once in this chapter. It would appear I cannot. All right, well, that's one for the counter, boys. Well, moving on. After our little detour, I managed to not mess up the second time and successfully beat the chapter with little issue. Chalk went up for the believers. And from now on, I'll be putting the deaths chat thinks I'll have at the beginning of each chapter, in case you want to play this game along with them. Now, I know I said chapter 1 was no issue, but the same could not be said about chapter 2, because this chapter had something that made my life way harder. Combat. Wow, that was fucking fast. First enemy, baby. Let's go. Whoops. Well, that's my bad, chat. Sorry, believers. That one's on me. I died to the literal first enemy the game threw at me. This enemy is basically supposed to be a free kill, as you can see here. And the same can be said for the second enemy, which I also died to. What the fuck was that? By this point, I was sporting a solid 2 to 3 KD ratio, playing against what amounted to the Evil Within's version of 5-year-olds getting their first Call of Duty for Christmas. So I wasn't exactly reassured moving into an area with multiple enemies at once. I want to say that this is the part where I turn a corner and shake off the early jitters. But no, these two guys kicked my ass. Uh-oh. Bro, that's silly. Oh my god, these things see me from like literally anywhere. Oh, that at least gets rid of one. God fucking damn it. These two really shouldn't have been that tough, but I kept losing to Dumb and Dumber here because I was dumbest. This... No! I can't say their ass kicking wasn't useful though, since these two were actually a pretty great resource for me to learn how to approach this difficulty. I made use of throwable items, learned how to reposition myself effectively with sprint, and figured out how to sneak around without alerting anyone, which are all things I would end up relying on throughout the course of the run. Holy shit, we finally did it. You may have gotten me 5 times, but 6? That's out of the question. The knowledge I gained here was actually so effective that in the following harder area, I only died a single time. And it wasn't even my fault necessarily either. All right, well, look, at least if I die here, at least I learned something, right? No, wrong. God damn it. Why would you prioritize just stomping the dead body over? I can't. All I did was slowly pick each of the enemies off while disabling as little traps as possible. Then, when I spawned in the big group of enemies, I ran away to de-aggravate them and proceeded to lure each of them into the traps laying about everywhere. And thus, I ended the chapter with only 8 deaths and notched another point for the believers. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Oh, everything is not fine. What the hell? Why couldn't I do that earlier? Oh, wow. Now you want to be acrobatic when I'm not the one playing. I see how it is. I was feeling pretty confident going into chapter 3, and that confidence was elevated when I was able to splurge on a bunch of upgrades. With upgrades, there were 3 things that I wanted to prioritize: sprint duration, ammo reserves, and crit chance on the pistol. Sprint and ammo are pretty self-explanatory, but I focused on crit chance more than damage because at max rank, there's a 50% chance to instantly kill a majority of enemies in 1 bullet, which I found to be way more effective later on. Then it was time to scout the area and disarm some traps for some crafting parts. I actually wouldn't recommend doing this for the bombs, but when you're a natural EOD like me, it might be a good idea. Oh, I'm going right back to the safe spot. That's for sure. I'm saving again. Oh, I can hide in this? What the hell? I look pretty tall though, right, chat? Like this guy looks at least 6 feet and I can fit into that closet. All right, whatever. Not only am I a detective, but I am a contortionist as well. After screwing around, it was now time to take on the main part of the mission, which is really just a roundabout way of saying I died a bunch again. Oh. Oh, that was a bear trap. God damn it. I hear him running around everywhere, but he's not making any progress. Oh, there we go. Did it work? Work, fuck. Oh no! Oh, that's awkward. Okay, it's okay. I have this figured out. What? God damn it. He can throw it? I was unaware of this, by the way. You know, 13 is such a big number. It's actually taking up a lot of the screen. Maybe we can just get rid of the 3 at the end over here. We can just, you know, I mean, we'll know it's 13, right? But I could just probably just get rid of it, just push here. Oh, that looks actually so much better. You think? I genuinely, oh, dude, look how nice and like pristine this looks compared to the ew, gross, ugly one that was before. You know what I mean? I think we'll keep it like this for now. This place is pretty rough because the sniper will alert everyone to your presence. And sometimes it feels like he has word.exe installed on his computer. What makes it worse is that there's also a Ruvik clone here, which will almost certainly kill you if it's able to get an attack off. The strategy that worked for me was to use the hatchet to immediately get rid of the clone. Then I would run in a loop and use the lever traps on any enemies that were chasing me, and slowly stealth kill the remaining enemies hanging around the area. All while making sure to avoid the traps everywhere. Oh, chat, I found a bear trap. God fucking damn it. We're now on 19. The death count gets older and older. It's gonna start being able to drink soon, which is what I'm gonna start feeling if I keep dying this many times. The mirror back to the safe room is always available as well, so you can save constantly to make sure that the enemies that are dead stay dead. There's one last thing you have to do in order to finish the chapter, and that's to reconnect with our old friend from chapter 1. And I gotta say, connecting with him went really well, considering I connected every shot I took at him flawlessly. Oh, that'll work. And with him out of the way, I was able to finish chapter 3 under the predicted deaths again. The beginning of chapter 4 really wasn't that bad, although there was one enemy that I really didn't see coming. Ah! Well, that's just not fair. I wasn't paying attention whatsoever. These invisible enemies are kind of a pain in the ass. And if we jump to chapter 5 for a second, this one in particular griefed me multiple times by either becoming the Terminator out of nowhere or acting like I was the invisible enemy when I actually wanted to die. So let me let him kill me. If he's ever gonna get around to... Okay. You know, maybe AKUMU mode really isn't as hard as I initially thought it was. However, if you use the hospital carts to your advantage and aren't a Scrooge with your ammo like I was, you'll have a much easier time. Back to chapter 4 though. We now find ourselves in a sewer, and boy, does this part stink. Thank you, thank you. The room is littered with traps, a horde of standard enemies, and what do you know, another Ruvik clone. This is definitely the hardest section you'll face during chapter 4, but I managed to accomplish it through utilizing the trap explosives as well as my own. Oh wow, that actually works. That's fucking tight. But with that done, there was nothing really left stopping me from finishing chapter 4. Well, other than a rude passerby. Oh, it's Ruvik. That's okay, chat. We just see, here's the thing, right? People are usually afraid of this guy, but there's actually a little secret that you can perform in this game, and that's just to politely ask him to move out of your way. So watch. Excuse me, sir. I would just like to get through really quickly. All right, maybe I didn't ask politely enough now that I think about it. After taking some time to work on my manners, I continued into chapter 5. As you probably already noticed by now, the believers were eating good. Definitely not because I was trying to trick everyone into becoming a believer with inflated over-under scores or anything, but because I am the greatest Evil Within player the world has ever seen. In all honesty, let's just cut the ruse and show the results for the next chapter, huh? Wait, what the heck happened? Well, my deaths basically doubling can be traced back to 2 things. This guy and this part. All right, I know Kidman's in her fucking Harry Houdini tank. Now we just kind of have to go ahead and save her from drowning herself, because it turns out that she's actually not a very good magician. This part would be pretty tough by itself. It's the first time the game has you hold out against waves of enemies without the ability to sneak around after all. However, the game also expects you to babysit this idiot. Most of us that have done this before will probably attest to the fact that Joseph will save us sometimes. No, oh, Joseph, you are a legend. Holy shit. But will cost us a life 100 times after. No! God damn it! And unfortunately, his only bodyguard is made of glass, making this section the hardest that you'll have to face thus far. Don't you fucking hurt my Josie. Oh, Jesus. No! God damn it! Ooh, that was actually... What? Holy, okay, well, at least it wasn't Joseph this time. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Oh, where the fuck was that dynamite? Where did that come from? I literally didn't hear a single thing. I missed both bullets. God damn it. Whoa.
Please hurry.
Kidman needs help.
With that, the hardest part of the chapter was done, and with 2 deaths under the belt to boot. The only significant part left in the chapter is the boss fight at the end. So is that how I reached the 51 deaths the doubters needed? Well, no. This fight is actually pretty easy once you know where all the flammable things are, and I ended up beating her on my first try. So I'm sure with that off the table, you may already have a pretty good idea of what might have happened. Okay, hold on. Joseph is in big trouble. What? Wait, he was fine 2 seconds ago. He had half health. How did he die? Well, believers, it has been an honor riding with you today. Even though I went over the bet, I was still able to wrap up chapter 5 and move on to chapter 6. It sucked that I had to double my deaths to get here, but there's no way my deaths would ever just double again in one chapter though, right? Right? Well, my beautiful viewers, allow me to introduce you to the portion of the evil within that I like to call the worst chapter in the entire game. So what is it that makes it so bad? Well, to summarize, it's basically a bunch of really difficult sections one after the other. So allow me to give you a bit of a tour. The first portion of this lovely chapter has you hold out against infinitely spawning enemies while Joseph learns how to open a door for the first time. What makes this part pretty terrible is that the room you're stuck in is incredibly small, so there isn't a lot of room to work with. Oh! Yeah, so this is chapter 6. This is fun. However, unlike the last chapter, Joseph is rarely ever the target of the enemies that climb in, meaning they'll always be running after you, which is great, I think. Okay, hold on, I see now. There's also the matter of you needing to do the same thing in the next room, but since there's no checkpoint in between these rooms, if you die in the second one, you'll need to do the first all over again. What was I just hit by? Wait a second. Oh, I don't think there was a checkpoint too. That's, I think, the worst part. Oh my god. Okay. I found the best strategy here was to run around in a loop as to not waste ammo and use bolts whenever I was in a bad spot.
Looks like we're out.
Oh, we're out? Yeah, let's go, dude. Once that section's done, you'll arrive at one of the most infamous parts in the game. Here, you'll have to shoot down 4 hanging boxes, each with their own Captain Ahab and harpoon Gatling gun. Normally, I'd say that's a little excessive, but when you have a Moby Dick like I do, it becomes a bit more reasonable. Along with this, you'll also be dealing with infinitely spawning enemies on the ground that have their own fun ways of killing you. No! He dropped it. Oh my god, he has fucking martyrdom? That's not fair. We're not playing Call of Duty, bro. Oh, and Joseph becomes a big liability again. But honestly, what else is new? All right, Joseph, you heard me, right? Don't fall off the bridge. God fucking damn it. I hate this game. This game can actually suck my ass. I'm trying my best. All right, well, I hate this guy. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. We've now turned back into a Joseph hate group, okay? Please post your most insulting insult about Joseph in chat right now. I need it for meditation purposes. My initial strategy was to play it like chapter 3, where I took out a few enemies and saved. But unfortunately, I think the game caught on to my antics. Ooh, actually, you know what I should do, chat? Every single enemy I kill, I'm going to immediately turn around and save again. I just want that to be very clear. All right, never mind. Fuck this game. I hate this game. God damn it, it knows my tricks. So I was left with no other choice but to push through it in one go. Oh, I got an achievement. What the f? I'll take it. Joseph, you fucking idiot. Wait, I can't move. I can't move. Wait, that's actually bullshit. I couldn't move. I was in a cutscene. Well, you know, I may have died, chat, but on the bright side, we have reached a very iconic number. I need to see the entire chat filled with nices right now, so that I understand that my death was not in vain, okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Joseph, you got this, buddy. I believe in you. Don't even... I have so much faith in you right now, Joseph, that I'm just literally not even gonna care. Why do I open my fucking mouth, dude? And I can't move during the cutscene. Oh my god, man. Boys. Joseph, you be doing me. All right, yeah, that's fair. That's my fault. Ah, damn it. Now I can't even scapegoat Joseph. I have to blame it on myself. This sucks. Open your door. Open your door. Nice. No! I finally get the 4, dude. Oh, I'm so sad. Take it. Yeah! Let's fucking go, dude! Oh, that wasn't that bad at all. I just had to craft a bunch of shit. There are 3 more big obstacles left in this chapter, but I didn't find the next 2 all that bad. One of them has you hold off enemies while they all try to kill Joseph, but if you stand right here on this bridge platform, they won't be able to hit or get past you. Don't ask me how this works, I have no idea.
Hurry, this way.
Aye aye! It worked! Let's fucking go! Another part has you fighting against 2 giants that have a ton of health. The best way to beat them is a combination of shock bolts, explosives, and shotgun shells when they're stunned and next to each other.
Now's your chance. You can finish them off.
Darn. That wasn't too bad at all, actually. That was really easy. But it's the last part that gave me the most trouble out of anything in this chapter. Because trust me when I say, you're in for a rough time. I gotta edit that out. God damn it, this fucking guy. I literally cannot take Joseph anywhere, I swear to God. Okay, wait, I need to... All right, well... That's just a wow, that is a big ass, what that mouth do, brother. Holy. Even though our canine foe wasn't a pushover by any means. What? He ran right through it. Oh, that's actually so lame. The worst part of the fight was definitely the bear traps hidden throughout the arena. No, god damn it, I wasn't on trap watch. These things were everywhere, and they ruined a ridiculous amount of good attempts. God damn it! Where was that? This entire... I hate everything. Who let the dogs out, Chet? Who? I deserve a death for that, to be honest. My strategy here was to use a bunch of electro bolts to stop the boss in its tracks and unload all my ammo into it after. All I had to do was wait until it all came together. Ooh, that sounds right. Oh, let's fucking go! Yes! Oh, that was actually just the worst. With that, chapter 6 was completed, and I hit the under on the desk again as well. However, even though the worst chapter in the game was now done, it still wasn't the worst the game was going to throw at me. But we'll get to that later. What happened to you? Oh, right, you got attacked by a dog. Wait, I got attacked by a dog. Why the fuck am I the one helping out here? I want to be coddled sometimes too. The beginning of chapter 7 wasn't too bad, so I was able to play the first 20 minutes of it on autopilot. Very trappy area. Yeah? What was that? I literally wasn't even paying attention. Joke's on you, game. You can't scare me if I don't even know I'm being scared, idiots. However, this plan of action unfortunately grinded to a halt once I was introduced to traps that would punish me for my half-assed ways. What's your favorite movie, and are you a fan of horror movies? I don't watch horror movies all that often, and my favorite movie of all time, well, it's not necessarily just— oh my— that caught me kind of off guard. Running this way. Not gonna die this time, I think. Wait. Oh, I'm supposed to shoot this. Okay. Oh. So I'm not supposed to be down there. Okay, cool. That is fantastic to know, actually. Thank you, game. But once I turned my brain back on, the majority of this chapter was actually pretty easy. The enemies here aren't too fast, so as long as you position yourself well during fights, it should be a breeze. So when I got to the boss fight at the end of the chapter, I was expecting the same level of difficulty. I was wrong. Oh, that's awkward. This guy is tough because he's made of muscle, tall, and fast, making him the only other possible candidate next to Wembanyama for the #1 overall pick this year. The only issue on his scouting report, though, is his conviction of multiple homicides, all of them being me. Ah! Oh. After peppering the bullet sponge enough, you'll move on to another room where you must disable the poison leaks while our friend here chases us around. This proved to be the easier section though, since if you know the best route to take, he probably won't even sniff you, which is unfortunate because the room is filled with poison gas, so it might have actually just done the job for you. Either way, after escaping the room, you're able to defeat the boss and end the chapter. You're a tough safe to crack, my friend, but I got it done eventually. Chapter 8 is pretty easy, and honestly 10 minutes long max, so you can probably already guess where I landed on the over-under score. That's right, way over, baby! There's a couple of reasons for that. There's this trick in the first area where you run into the second room and bait out the enemies to the first. This then lets you operate the crank in the second room without wasting any ammo. However, this was far easier said than done. Oh! Ah, shit. After that, though, it was on me and my skill to make it to the end. But just when I thought I had it, no! There's a... Aw, dude, where was that? Ugh. We were so close. Pain. It was at this point that I let my Scrooge tendencies take over, and I tried to beat the chapter using as little ammo as possible, which went as well as you'd expect. Holy, where'd they jump since fucking when? Eventually, I did beat the chapter, but I had to gift another point to the doubters. The first half of chapter 9 takes place in this mansion, and is defined by 3 things. The first is that enemies will start carrying guns now, which is horrifying. No, not another gun! Please, please, sir, I'm innocent! No, 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 no! How am I alive? That doesn't make sense. Oh! Okay. Oh, no! Why is this game like this? Why do the enemies in this game in the one-hit mode have fucking guns, man? The second is that the entire place is filled with explosive traps. Now, normally I'd say it's a bad idea to attempt disarming them, but when you're a natural EOD like me... Uh-oh. What? Oh my... Okay, well, we'll give it another whirl. Dude, there's actually no fucking... And finally, Ruvik will spawn in occasionally and chase you down. I tried being polite like back in chapter 4, but he just killed me again. Ah, no! That's totally cheating! I don't get it. The guide said to learn manners, and I did that. Oh, it doesn't say learn manners. It says to learn the manner. Ruvik only spawns if a certain amount of time has passed between objectives being completed. So if you're fast enough getting to each of them, you don't actually have to worry about him nearly as often. All right, Surgeon Snam is on the case yet again, chat, never fear. I know the exact parts of the brain we must analyze. And this is right here. Definitely not looking up a guide or anything. That would be weird, champ. Oh, how convenient. It was the right spot. My guess was correct. Thank goodness for that. The second part of Chapter 9 has you fight against the Kool-Aid Man, except he's not wearing any clothes. To be honest, this fight was pretty easy, since you only have to take out his minions while avoiding him. It just took a little bit of trial and error. Oh, that one's dead. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Let's go. With the boss down, Chapter 9 was now complete, and we notched another solid point for the believers. Chapter 10 is a lot, but to summarize it, it's like if you mix a Saw movie with Silent Hill. There's also a bunch of crazy things that happen during this chapter, so let me quickly touch on them all. The first thing you'll notice is that there's now rarely an encounter that doesn't have some enemy with a ranged weapon, which results in a lot of pain and suffering for me. That's not good. No! He has a gun! Get down! Light him on fire, light him on fire, light him on fire, light him on fire. No! What's the wrong guy on fire? This is chaotic. There's this lovely spinning blade room that plays clown music, most certainly because I myself am a clown. I tried. Oh, I'm so sad. There's this thing. You know, chat, I feel like the discussion should lead at this point. What is this for? Like, what mechanical purpose does it serve within the confines of this building? Auto back scratcher? Oh, I see. Maybe it's just because I usually don't get the deep tissue massage, chat, but that totally makes sense now that I think about it. Thank you. And there's a bunch of sections with an absurd amount of chaos, but I feel like I learned a lot from them. Avoiding bombs. Press right bumper to sneak. Bombs can be snuck past without detonating them. Okay, cool. This is good information, actually. Thank you. The best way to go about doing these parts after dying a bunch of times is to not fight everything head on, but to use shock, flash, and freeze bolts to delay the enemies as long as possible while you complete the objectives. I think the craziest thing, though, is that you've gotten this far into the video and might not be subscribed. So if you want to do that and make my misery worth it, it would put a big smile on my face. And to reward you for completing this mayhem, the game gives you not one, but 2 boss fights right after. The first is against the same boss from Chapter 5, except you must also keep on the move by shooting pipes that shoot out fire. Got him! This was a much harder fight the second time round, and unfortunately, it caused me to go above my predicted deaths for the level. What made it worse is that a doubter used their newfound channel point wealth to make me spit water in my face, which I have decided I won't be doing again. After finally persevering through the first fight, it was on to the second. Why would I move into the way of him? This was more of a traditional boss fight, so the best advice I can give you is to splurge most of your power weapon ammo until it can't get back up. So now we move from Chapter 10, where I died multiple times on each part, to Chapter 11, where I died only once on each part. Hey, nice job climbing, idiot. Oh, wait, they're going up the thing again. It would really suck if I were to do this. Except for one. No, we traded. Wait, he's alive. We didn't even trade. Remember when I said there was worse to come after Chapter 6? I specifically meant here. Okay, hopefully the enemy has the same AI behavior in that he doesn't shoot me again. Yeah, you know, I will go fuck myself, actually. Thank you, game. Oh, what the fuck? I'm fighting Neo from the Matrix since when? This part is incredibly difficult because of a few things. The most annoying of which is the garage door. No, there's a third. Dude, this is actually so cringe. In order to progress, you need to defeat the 5 waves of enemies that come through this door. These enemies come equipped with snipers. What? Crossbows. I'm dead. And of course, submachine guns that will kill you immediately if you're even slightly out of cover. No, dude, that's so fast. This clown car garage skyrocketed my death count, but I found if you make use of this position and use your grenades, you'll have a way better chance of making it out. Oh, okay. My salvation is at hand, chat. I never have to do this part again. But this wasn't the end, because I still had to survive this part. A mandatory cart section, my favorite. Ah!
Here you have to survive in this $3,000 San Francisco one-bedroom apartment while enemies flood in from either side. And to make it to the end, you'll need to be as on point with your reactions as you've ever been. But even though I died a copious amount of times in this section alone, somehow, some way, I was able to get the under and bring a smile to all the believers in my chat. Oh! Let's fucking go! Their smiles were immediately wiped from their faces, however, when I was forced to relive my League of Legends days. I could not for the life of me figure out how to progress during this Urgot fight, especially since he had a move that was seemingly undodgeable at the beginning.
What do you want from me in that situation?
He farmed me until I only gave as much gold as a caster minion, and my believer teammates probably reported me for inting after this. This changed once I found out you can go to the side slightly at the back of the bus, allowing Sebastian to dodge the attack and me to progress to a somehow even more brutal part. Here you need to recover some bandages from an ambulance and then defend your bus using a mounted gun. The bandage collection was really annoying because I would always die in the most absurd ways.
Getting worried.
What? What the hell am I fighting, Tom Brady? What the fuck was that?
I actually got Kobe'd. That's crazy.
But the mounted gun part was even worse because you had to use it in order to get rid of all the enemies that were around, but you were also a sitting target for any of them that had guns. Unfortunately, the doubters got this one. But it didn't stop me from celebrating when I was finally done with this chapter.
Can I leave now? Whoa! Yes, before 300! Suck my dick!
Now it was on to chapter 13, which introduced acid to the equation.
Oh, we're doing acid now? Hell yeah. Oh, that's the wrong type of acid. Damn it.
The first part you'll come across is a sneaking section. The enemies here are super aware, so it's actually pretty hard to get past. But I had a plan.
We go here. We deactivate this thingy. We immediately run this way. This man is so confused. I am dead. He enabled that way sooner than I would have anticipated.
Well, that plan didn't work, and the sneaking wasn't much better. So the way I beat it was to eliminate the clone as fast as possible, then obliterate the enemies as they tried to run at me around a corner. It worked out pretty well, and I only ended up dying a few times before the boss fight at the end of the chapter.
Hopefully I don't get destroyed here.
This is the freezer, and off rip, it may be very uncomfortable.
Oh, there's so much meat everywhere. I feel like I'm fucking Piper Perry.
In here, not only do you have to deal with our safe but very unsafe friends from chapter 7, but also a bunch of murder Roombas that will clean you up if you're not careful.
Hey, you better run, Roomba.
Bitch.
Ooh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
It definitely took a few tries, but after picking a corner and moving to another when a Roomba was near, I made it to the end. Oh, and Joseph got rocked too, putting a pretty good cap on a great chapter. I didn't know what to make of chapter 14 going into it, but the moment I walked out the safe room, I knew it was gonna be a nightmare.
What? All right, well, that's a fantastic start, one could say. You know, I don't think I could have asked for a better start, really.
The initial section at this level requires you to get past a room filled with invisible enemies, gun-toting enemies, and a Ruvik clone. Honestly, this might have been manageable if I were to use my power weapons, but I was determined to sneak by using little to no ammo at all. I died 26 times in this area alone.
Ignore that scream, that was manly. Where the fuck was that guy? Watch, I guarantee I get it this try just because. Okay, well, I may be mistaken. Dude, everyone's seeing me. I'm just running, bro. I'm done with this area.
However, I did finally make it through, and it only really cost the believer's sanity. The only other tough spot in this chapter was the boss, but even he wasn't too bad. To be honest, I had more trouble with the enemies I had to run away from on the way over.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, actually, this is fine. I lied.
The gimmick of this boss is that it hides every so often, but it's really just as concealed as a plumber's butt crack, so you'll see it often and easily. Other than that, this boss is like chapter 10's, where it's just a big ammo dump.
That kill him? Hopefully.
And just like that, we're on to the final chapter. And what's even crazier is, I was having a really good time. Maybe I am psychotic. This last chapter was basically an amalgamation of everything the game has thrown at you thus far, along with a final boss to greet you at the end. All I had to do was put my skills to the test and hope I could come out with one final Believer's W. This was it. The Believer's points all on the line. All I had to do was hit this final shot, and it was game over.
I'm pretty sure I'm good, right? What? I missed?
Damn. Well, they don't call me Chuck, which is for nothing. Either way, I got it on the third try. Oh. Oh, no. And was finally able to put this playthrough to rest.
What? That's what I did the first time. Refs, I need VAR right now. Not so fucking tough now, eh, big guy, huh? Boom! Let's go! Let's fucking go. Okay, nightmare difficulty. Wait a second. Yeah, let's go!
And there it was. The hardest achievement in the Evil Within, done. But is it weird that I found it really fun? Like, sure, there were a few sections that definitely weren't balanced in the best way, but I actually thought it provided a mostly fair challenge that I'd never experienced in a game before. And I'd even go so far as to say all of you should try it yourselves too. You might be pleasantly surprised. But I also think that the biggest thing we learned today is that you should always believe in sandwiches to get the job done. Well, other than at the end of the game, but we can ignore that. What we can't ignore though, is that if you're craving more hard achievement content, then you should click on this video to satisfy that. I'm also live on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4:30 Pacific time doing all these achievements live. So stop by and say hello, and maybe be a believer. That would be pretty cool too. With that, I'll see you in the next video.